Hey there, coin hunters! Welcome back to the channel where we dig into the treasure chest of history to uncover some seriously valuable coins hiding in your pockets, drawers, or that old shoebox under your bed. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join the crew. Today, we're talking about a coin that is literally worth more than a brand new car, more than a down payment on a house. And no, I'm not talking about some fancy gold coin from the 1800s. I'm talking about a 1968 Lincoln penny with an O mint mark. You're probably thinking, wait, what? A penny? That little guy? Yeah, that little guy. Stick around, and I'll tell you how this small coin could make you big money. We're talking up to $1.8 million. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be hunting through your spare change like a true treasure seeker. Okay, let's break it down. In 1968, the US Mint was still cranking out those shiny pennies with the trusty Lincoln image. But here's where it gets interesting. That year, something went a little awry in the production process. You see, most of the 1968 pennies were stamped with a mint mark, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But, and this is the part where we start reaching for the magnifying glass, a small number of those pennies were not stamped with any mint mark at all. This mistake was caused by a tiny error in the process at the Philadelphia Mint. As a result, a few rare pennies were left without a mint mark, which is what makes them super rare and collectible today. Now, most of these error coins would just go for the normal value of a penny, but if you've got the right 1968 penny with no mint mark, it's worth big money. We're talking up to $1.8 million if it's in top-notch condition and has been graded by a reputable coin grading service. That's not a typo, folks. Now, before you go rummaging through your coin jar or grandma's old coin collection, let me give you a little warning. Not every 1968 penny without a mint mark is going to be worth $1.8 million. Sorry, I wish I could just hand you that kind of jackpot, but we need to get specific here. The pennies that are worth that much are in pristine condition. I mean perfect condition. The higher the grade, the higher the value. So, get a magnifying glass, check for any signs of wear, and if your penny has that smooth, shiny surface, it might just be a winner. But the real kicker? These pennies don't just show up in circulation every day. When was the last time you saw a 1968 penny that didn't have a mint mark? Exactly. So, if you find one, you're officially part of the lucky few club. I wish I could say I found one myself. Unfortunately, I've gone through way too many jars of pennies, but hey, there's always hope, right? Let me tell you a story. A couple of years ago, I was visiting my aunt, and as usual, she had a jar of old pennies sitting on the counter. I got all excited, thinking, maybe this is my moment. I started sifting through them, pulling out the 1968 pennies and checking for mint marks. And guess what I found? Nothing. Not a single one without a mint mark. At that moment, I realized the real treasure is in finding the treasure. But hey, there's always next time. So, if you've got a 1968 penny with no mint mark, don't just toss it in your coin jar like it's some regular old change. Take a closer look. It might be worth way more than you think. But here's the catch. If you do find one, make sure you get it properly graded by a trusted professional. A good grading can make all the difference when it comes to selling a coin like this for top dollar. Before I go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips, tricks, and coin hunting strategies. Who knows? Your next coin could be worth a fortune. And, as always, leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. I want to hear your stories. 1969 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Really? But trust me, this particular penny holds some serious potential, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why. We'll break down what makes this coin special, what to look for if you happen to have one, and how you could potentially turn that humble 1-cent piece into thousands, or even millions of dollars. So, let's get started. The 1969 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny, minted in Denver, is a coin that stands out not for being rare in circulation, but because of certain special features that make it highly sought after by collectors and investors. But before we dive into what sets this penny apart, let's quickly recap what a typical 1969 D penny looks like. The coin features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse shows the familiar Lincoln Memorial. But there's something about this coin that makes it exceptional, something that could be hiding in your change jar, or perhaps in a box of old coins you've had for years. Now, here's where the magic happens. Some of the 1969 D Lincoln pennies were struck with what's called a double die obverse. This is a form of minting error that results in the letters and numbers on the coin being doubled. If you look closely, you can see that the words Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as the date 1969, are double struck, creating a distinct and noticeable doubling effect. This doubling occurs due to an issue during the minting process when the die used to strike the coin was misaligned, causing it to make an additional impression of the design on the coin. This error is rare, and the 1969 D is one of the most famous examples of a double die penny. So, if you have a 1969 D penny and you notice any doubling in the design, hold on to it. It could be worth much more than its 1 cent face value. So, let's talk about what makes this coin so valuable. You might be wondering, how much is a 1969 D Lincoln penny worth? If you have a regular, non-double die version of the 1969 D penny, it's worth only about 1 cent, maybe a little more to a collector, but nothing close to a fortune. However, the real jackpot comes with the double die verse variety. Depending on the condition of the coin and the quality of the doubling, a 1969 D double die penny could be worth anywhere from several hundred to tens of thousands of dollars. For example, a coin in fine or good condition could be worth around $300 to $500. But if you've got one in excellent condition, you could be looking at a value of up to $5,000 or even more. Now, here's where it gets really exciting. Coins in higher grades, especially those that are graded MS 65, Mint State 65, or better, can fetch upwards of $20,000. But the real goldmine, the true jackpot of these coins, comes when you're looking at a 1969 D penny with an exceptional double die that has been certified as authentic and in near perfect condition. These rare finds can fetch well over $100,000. In fact, some have sold at auction for as high as $300,000 or even more, depending on demand and the condition of the coin. So, what makes the 1969 D double die penny so special? Why are collectors willing to pay such astronomical amounts for this coin? First and foremost, it's the rarity of the error. Minting errors, especially those that involve a double die, are fascinating to collectors because they tell a story of how a mistake in the manufacturing process led to a truly unique coin. It's like having a piece of history in your hand, something that was never meant to happen, but did. Additionally, the popularity of Lincoln pennies as a series contributes to the high demand for these coins. The 1969 D double die error is one of the most famous errors in coin collecting, which means collectors are actively seeking it out. If you have one, it's in high demand, which drives up the price. Now that you know just how valuable this coin can be, let's talk about how to spot a 1969 D double die penny. Here's what you need to look for. The most obvious place to check for doubling is the date. 1969. If the numbers appear to be doubled, even just slightly, you might have a valuable coin on your hands. These inscriptions are often where doubling is most pronounced. The doubling can appear as a shadow or a second image of the letters, making them look thicker or split. For the best results, use a magnifying glass or a loupe to inspect the coin up close. The doubling will be much easier to spot under magnification. While the doubling is the key feature, pay attention to the overall condition of the coin. The better the condition, the more valuable the coin will be. If you think you've found a 1969 D double die penny, the next question is, how do you sell it? Well, there are a few options. First, you can check with coin dealers or auction houses that specialize in rare coins. Some dealers may offer to buy it from you directly, while auction houses can help you reach a wider audience. There are also online platforms like eBay where you can list your coin and see what other collectors are willing to pay. Be sure to have the coin professionally graded if it's in good condition. It'll help authenticate the coin and boost its value. So, there you have it. The 1969 D Lincoln 1-cent penny is not just your typical penny. If it has the double die obverse error, it could be worth anywhere from a few $100s to several $100,000. The key to unlocking this potential is identifying the doubling, getting the coin professionally graded, and finding the right buyer. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare pennies, don't just toss it into a jar. Take a closer look and see if you might have a small fortune in your hands. And remember, even if your 1969 D penny isn't a double die, there are always other rare coins out there, so keep searching and keep collecting. 1970 D Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This coin is not just another penny, and if you're into coin collecting or investing, you'll definitely want to hear about its current market value. It could be worth way more than you think, and in rare cases, even reach a mind-blowing value in the millions. Let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about what makes the 1970 D penny so special. On the surface, it might seem like just another 1-cent coin produced by the US Mint, but in reality, this specific penny has captured the attention of collectors and numismatists because of its unique characteristics and a few rare misprints. Now, before we get into the potential value, let's look at the basics. The 1970 D penny, minted in Denver, features the iconic Abraham Lincoln design on the obverse, and the reverse features the familiar Lincoln Memorial. The D Mint mark indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint, which adds a bit of rarity right there. But where things get interesting is when we talk about the different types of errors and how they impact its value. Several versions of the 1970 D penny were released with different imperfections, like doubled dies, die clashes, and other subtle but important details. These errors are what can drive the price of a coin through the roof. For example, a 1970 D penny with a notable die crack or a double die could fetch thousands, tens of thousands, or even more, depending on its condition. Let's talk numbers. So, what is the current market value of the 1970 D penny? Well, if you have a regular, non-error version of the coin in circulation, you're looking at just 1 cent. That's right, a common penny. But, and here's the key point, if you're lucky enough to find a well-preserved or error-struck version, the value can skyrocket. Currently, a 1970 D penny in mint state or near-perfect condition can sell anywhere from $5 to $20. But the real prize is for those of you who own a version with rare errors like the double die or die crack. Coins like these have been known to fetch upwards of $500 or even higher at auction. Now, let's talk about the really big bucks. There have been rare instances where a 1970 D penny, with a significant error, has been sold for over $100,000. That's right, 6 figures for a single penny, and in some cases, there are rumors of collectors who have paid even more. But the ultimate prize? The elusive 1970 D penny that could be worth $1 million or more, though these sales are extremely rare and not often publicly documented. What makes a penny worth that kind of money? It's all about the rarity, the condition, and the error. As with any high-value collectible, condition is key. A penny in near-perfect condition with a rare error, such as a double die or a unique die crack, will always command a premium. You can see why these specific coins are so sought after by collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. So, how can you tell if you've got a rare 1970 D penny in your hands? The first step is to carefully inspect the coin for any signs of doubling or any unusual features. A double die, for example, means that the image on the coin was struck twice, creating a slightly off-center or doubled appearance on the design. If you spot something like that, you might have a valuable piece on your hands. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to look at the date and the lettering. If you see any doubling, like a doubled 7 or 0, you might be holding a coin that's worth thousands, or even more, depending on its condition and the severity of the error. To wrap it up, while a 1970 D penny in perfect, error-free condition is unlikely to be worth a fortune, those rare and beautifully imperfect examples can be highly sought after by collectors, and in the right market, they can sell for hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars. So check your pennies, hold on to those unique ones, and keep an eye out for those valuable errors. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on more tips and tricks to help you turn your coins into real cash. Have any 1970 pennies? Drop a comment below and let me know if you think you've found something special. 1976 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. You may have seen one of these pennies in your pocket change, but what you might not know is that this coin has a significant place in numismatic history. So, if you're a coin enthusiast or someone who's curious about its value, this is the video for you. First things first, let's talk about the 1976 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This penny was minted in 1976 at the Denver Mint, denoted by the D mint mark. While the design itself might look familiar with Abraham Lincoln on one side and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, the real story of its value comes down to the condition of the coin and any rare variations that may exist. Now, when it comes to the current market value of the 1976 penny, it's important to note that most of these coins are fairly common and are worth very little in circulated condition. Generally, if you have a standard 1976 penny that's been in circulation for years, it's probably only worth 1 cent, or maybe a few cents more if it's in uncirculated condition. However, the value can significantly increase if the coin has certain attributes. For example, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its market value. Coins in mint or gem uncirculated condition, meaning they've never been used in transactions and have been carefully preserved, can be worth a bit more. In some cases, these coins can fetch anywhere from 25 cents to a few dollars depending on the quality and how rare the coin is in its specific state. But hold on a minute. Are you sitting down? Because there are some 1976 pennies out there that can be worth a lot more than that, potentially even reaching the thousands of dollars or more. So, how does that happen? The truth is, there are several rare variations and errors that collectors pay top dollar for. For example, the 1976 penny with a double die obverse is one of the most sought-after versions. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or deteriorates, causing the image of Lincoln to appear doubled. Collectors refer to this coin as a doubled die and are willing to pay anywhere from a few $100s to even thousands of dollars for one in excellent condition. Additionally, another factor that can influence the value of this coin is whether it has been graded by a professional grading service, such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. A coin's grade determines its condition and ultimately its market value. Coins with higher grades, MS65 and above, will often see a much higher selling price. Now, you might be wondering, what's the real market value of these coins today? Well, as I mentioned earlier, most 1976 pennies are going to be worth only a few cents, but the rare ones can go for significantly more. A 1976 penny in excellent condition, free from damage or wear, might fetch you a few dollars. But for that special error coin, like the double die obverse, the price could soar into the hundreds, or even the thousands. Some rare 1976 pennies with the right errors and in top-notch condition have been known to sell for upwards of $10,000 or more at auctions. Yes, you heard that right. A coin worth 1 cent in circulation could be worth thousands in the right circumstances. So, before you toss that 1976 penny into your pocket change jar, take a closer look. If you spot anything unusual, or if the coin is in exceptional condition, it might just be worth getting it appraised. Remember, the world of coin collecting is all about paying attention to the details, whether it's an error, the coin's condition, or even the specific characteristics that make it unique. Before we wrap up, I want to encourage you to keep exploring the value of your coins and looking for those hidden treasures. You never know what you might have tucked away in your collection or in your pocket change that could be worth more than you think. 1979 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. We'll explore the unique features of this coin, why it's highly sought after by collectors, and just how valuable it could be in today's market, including some that could potentially be worth millions of dollars. If you're passionate about coins, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update on your coin collection. Now, let's get into the details of the 1979 Lincoln penny. The 1979 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny was minted in 1979 at the Denver Mint, which is why it has the D mint mark. Now, at first glance, this might look like a standard penny, but it's actually more than just a piece of currency. The Lincoln penny has a rich history, with various eras and varieties that make it one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatics. Before we talk about the market value, let's take a closer look at what makes the 1979 D unique. The Lincoln penny has a distinct design, with the obverse featuring a bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse, with the iconic Lincoln Memorial, was introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. On the 1979 D coin, this same classic design is featured, but there are some subtle differences that collectors look for, especially in the font size and the overall details. What's even more important are the errors and variety issues that can make a 1979 D penny extraordinarily valuable. Now, when it comes to valuable coins, errors and varieties are the game changers. The 1979 D penny is particularly notable for several key errors, with one of the most famous being the double die obverse variety. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin was misaligned, resulting in a noticeable doubling effect on the date, the motto, and even the profile of Abraham Lincoln himself. This double die error is one of the most desirable among collectors and can significantly raise the value of the coin. Another error to keep an eye out for is the wide AM variety on the reverse of the coin. Normally, the and M in America are close together, but with the wide AM, there's more space between the two letters. This is a rare variation that can sometimes increase the worth of your 1979 D penny substantially. Now, let's talk about what you're all waiting for, the market value. For most 1979 D Lincoln pennies, especially those in good condition, you're likely looking at a value of just a few cents to a couple of dollars, depending on the wear and tear. However, the story changes when you're dealing with those rare error varieties, particularly the double die or wide AM errors. If you happen to find a 1979 D penny with a double die obverse in near mid condition, you could potentially sell it for anywhere between $200 and $500, or even more in some cases. The wide AM variety also fetches impressive prices, usually ranging between $100 and $300, depending on its quality. But here's where things get really interesting. There have been reports of certain high-quality 1979 D era pennies selling for much higher amounts. Some coins have been auctioned off for over $1,000, and in extreme cases, some even reach the $10,000 mark or higher. And now for the million-dollar question. Can a 1979 D penny be worth $1 million? While it's rare, it is certainly possible. If you were to find a truly exceptional 1979 D Lincoln penny with not just a double die or wide AM error but also in pristine, uncirculated condition, the kind of quality that could grade 65 or higher on the Sheldon scale, you might just have the kind of coin that could push into the six-figure or even seven-figure range. Collectors and investors are always on the lookout for rare, high-grade coins, and sometimes a single coin can set off a bidding war at an auction. In recent years, there have been instances where error coins, especially those with unique or extremely rare varieties, have been sold for amounts that exceed $1 million. While the 1979 D penny would need to be nearly perfect and come with an extraordinary error, the possibility exists. So, how can you identify if you have a rare, potentially valuable 1979 D penny? First, you'll need to closely inspect the coin for any signs of doubling or misalignment on the obverse. Use a magnifying glass or a loupe to look at the date, motto, and Lincoln's profile. If you spot any noticeable doubling, you might have a double die error. Next, examine the reverse of the coin for the spacing between A and M in America. If they're wider than usual, you could have the wide AM variety. Additionally, the overall condition of the coin plays a major role in its value. Coins with little to no wear, clear strike details, and minimal damage will fetch the highest prices. If your 1979 D penny looks especially well preserved, it might be worth getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. So, whether you're just starting your coin collection or you're a seasoned numismatist, keep an eye out for those rare and valuable 1979 D pennies. with the potential for incredible market value. Finding the right coin could be a game changer for your collection. Remember, the key is understanding the varieties, errors, and quality of each coin. With the right knowledge and a bit of luck, you could be sitting on a small fortune. 1990 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. If you've got one of these hidden away in your collection, you might be sitting on a small treasure. In this video, we'll break down why this coin is so significant, its current market value, and just how high its worth could rise, possibly even hitting the $1 million mark. Let's first take a look at why this specific penny stands out from all the other coins minted in 1990. Typically, U.S. pennies are stamped with a mint mark indicating where they were produced: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. However, some 1990 pennies came from the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark. At first glance, it might seem like a minor detail, but to collectors, it's anything but. Now, the no mint mark isn't necessarily a huge red flag on its own. After all, Philadelphia typically doesn't place mint marks on its coins. But the 1990 penny holds particular value because there were rumors of production errors, including a small batch of coins being incorrectly stamped or misstruck. This has piqued the interest of coin collectors worldwide, especially those who specialize in rare mint errors. As with any rare coin, condition is crucial to its value. A 1990 no mint mark penny in pristine condition, say, graded MS65 or higher, can demand a much higher price than one in average or circulated condition. Coins are graded based on their appearance and the level of wear they've experienced over the years. A well-preserved penny from this year is not only rare but highly sought after, making it more valuable. Now, we've all heard the phrase, "A penny saved is a penny earned." But did you know a rare penny could be worth millions of dollars? While the 1990 no mint mark penny isn't quite in the category of an ultra-rare 1943 copper penny or a 1955 double die, it does have a remarkable potential if found, and there are certain rarity and error factors that come into play. First off, there's the minting error. If your 1990 no mint mark penny was part of an accidental or limited production run, you could be looking at a coin worth tens of thousands, if not more. However, if you've got something truly special, like a double die error or an off-center strike, your penny could potentially be valued in the hundreds of thousands, or even up to $1 million. Let's talk about some key examples where rare pennies went for record prices. We've seen rare error pennies from other years, especially from the 1940s and 1950s, sell at auction for high six-figure or even seven-figure amounts. While the 1990 no mint mark penny is still relatively young in the numismatic world, the right buyer and the right condition can easily send the price sky-high. So, what's the current market value of the 1990 no mint mark penny? Based on auction results and private sales in recent years, most of these coins are typically valued between $5 to $50 for common circulated coins. However, if you've got a coin in MS65 or higher, you're looking at a significantly higher value, potentially $200 to $500 or even more, depending on the error types and collector demand. But the real story lies in the auction houses and the error coins. If your penny has an error, even a small one, you could see it rise to a much higher value. Coins with unusual features or striking errors often fetch 5 figures, while those with major errors can easily climb into the 6-figure range. The $1 million potential comes from finding a coin that's not just rare in itself but has a unique error or characteristic that draws the attention of high-end collectors and investors. So, how can you figure out if your 1990 no mint mark penny is worth a fortune? Here are some tips. The first step is to have your penny professionally graded by a reputable company like PCGS or NGC. This will give you a clear indication of its condition and whether it's a high-quality specimen. Check for any errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or any unusual features that might make it a more valuable coin. You can find guides or use online resources to help identify these traits. Take a look at what similar coins have sold for in recent auctions. Look at coins with the same year and mint mark, or no mint mark, and see if there are any relevant sales. If you believe your coin is special but are unsure, it's always worth getting the advice of a professional numismatist. They can give you a more in-depth analysis of its value. In conclusion, The 1990 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is not just another run-of-the-mill penny. Its rarity, potential errors, and collector demand make it a coin to watch closely. While it might not have hit the $1 million mark just yet, don't be surprised if one day we see one of these pennies auctioned for a fortune. So, before you toss those pennies in your jar or let them sit in a drawer, take a moment to inspect them. You might just have a valuable collector's item on your hands. 1998 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. If you're wondering about its value, its rarity, and why this coin could potentially be worth millions of dollars one day, you've come to the right place. Let's explore what makes this penny so special. First things first, you might be thinking, a penny worth millions? That sounds too good to be true. But trust me, when it comes to coin collecting, sometimes the smallest, most overlooked coins can hold big surprises. The 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one such coin. Let's break down why. In 1998, the US Mint produced millions of 1-cent coins. But here's the catch. Most of these pennies have a mint mark, which identifies where they were produced, either Philadelphia or Denver. The no-mint mark coin, however, is extremely rare. Why? Because it's believed that it was accidentally struck in the Philadelphia Mint, a facility that typically doesn't use a mint mark on coins produced there. This small mistake resulted in a handful of 1998 pennies being minted without the identifying mark, and that is what makes them so sought after by collectors. So, how much is this rare penny worth today? Well, let me tell you, prices for the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny can vary greatly depending on its condition. In general, you'll find these pennies selling for anywhere from a few dollars to hundreds of dollars for coins in excellent, uncirculated condition. The more pristine the penny, the higher the price it can command. For example, a 1998 no-mint mark penny in average circulated condition could fetch around $20 to $50. But when we move up to coins that are in pristine, mint condition, we're talking anywhere from $500 to over $1,000 or more. That's already impressive for a penny, but there's more. If you happen to have a 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that is graded as a proof coin, you could be looking at a much higher value, possibly even tens of thousands of dollars. And the really exciting part is this: as time passes, the rarity and value of the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could continue to climb. While it's not guaranteed that it'll ever reach $1 million price tag, there are collectors out there who believe this penny could one day be worth exactly that, or more, in the future. So, where does that leave us? If you find a 1998 Lincoln penny without a mint mark in your collection or change jar, don't just let it sit there. Get it evaluated by a professional numismatist, because you could be holding on to a coin that's worth far more than you thought. Remember to hit that like button if you found this video helpful, and don't forget to subscribe for more coin collecting tips, valuable finds, and insights into the world of rare coins. Who knows, your next penny might just be worth a fortune. 2016 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny, specifically the one without a mint mark. This coin might seem like just another penny, but don't be fooled. It could be hiding a major value that could take you by surprise. Stick around to find out just how much this coin is worth today, and what makes it so special in the world of coin collecting. Now, at first glance, this looks like your everyday penny, right? You've probably seen hundreds of them lying around in your spare change. But here's this 2016 penny, without a mint mark, is actually part of a very specific group of coins that has collectors and investors buzzing. It's rare, and it has a very interesting story behind it. Let's start by breaking down what makes this coin so unique. In 2016, the US Mint produced the regular penny with the usual D mint mark for Denver and P mint mark for Philadelphia. However, there's a mysterious anomaly. Some 2016 pennies were struck in Philadelphia but were not marked with the P. These coins are known as the 2016 no mint mark pennies. Most pennies from 2016 have a mint mark, like the ones from the Denver Mint, which are marked with a D. However, for reasons unknown to many collectors and experts, some pennies struck in Philadelphia were accidentally released without a mint mark. This mistake is rare, and it's exactly what gives the 2016 no mint mark penny its collector's appeal. Now, why does this seemingly small error make this penny so valuable? The truth is, mistakes in minting are a big deal in the world of coin collecting. When a coin is struck incorrectly, it becomes rare, and rarity equals value. These coins aren't just limited editions, they're actual mint errors that make them far more sought after by collectors. A coin that was supposed to have a mint mark, but doesn't, stands out in the world of numismatics. Collectors hunt for these kinds of errors because it's a part of history. The US Mint didn't intentionally release these no mint mark pennies, but the ones that made it into circulation have now become a hot commodity. Let's get to the most exciting part. How much is this penny worth today? Well, it's important to note that the value of these coins can vary depending on a few factors like condition, demand, and whether you're selling it as a part of a complete set or as an individual coin. Currently, a 2016 no mint mark penny, in good condition, can fetch anywhere from $10 to $100 or more. But here's where things get crazy. If you have one in perfect, uncirculated condition, or if you manage to find a rare variety, the value could increase dramatically. Some of these coins have sold for hundreds, and in some rare cases, even thousands of dollars, especially if they're part of a limited run or a highly desired specimen. Now you might be wondering, can this coin really be worth $1 million? While that may sound like a stretch, there have been instances where coins with minting errors or special features have sold for millions at auction. For example, certain rare coins with historical significance, such as the 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1943 copper penny, have commanded prices in the millions. While the 2016 no mint mark penny isn't quite at the level of those record-breaking coins just yet, its rarity and potential for future demand could see it become a highly sought-after piece of numismatic history. So if you hold on to one of these in pristine condition, who knows? It might just be worth more in the future. Now, if you're wondering how to tell if you have one of these rare pennies, it's simple. Just check the reverse side of the coin for the mint mark. In normal circumstances, you'll either see a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. If it's missing, you've got yourself a no mint mark penny. Look closely, and if you notice it's from 2016 and doesn't have a mint mark, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. The next step is to get it checked by a professional or even send it off to a grading service to determine its condition, which can dramatically affect its value. Overall, the 2016 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a prime example of how a small mistake in the minting process can lead to big money. While it might not be $1 million coin right now, it's certainly a rare and valuable piece that could appreciate in value over time. So don't toss those pennies just yet. You might be sitting on a hidden treasure. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss out on the latest coin news and tips. Have any of you spotted a 2016 no mint mark penny in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. 2019 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. We're going to dive deep into its market value, how it stands today, and why this penny could be worth a lot more than you think. So, if you want to learn how to potentially turn a coin like this into a fortune, make sure to stick around until the end. Let's get started. First things first, let's talk about the basics. Most people don't realize that not all pennies are created equal. The 2019 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is an interesting coin for several reasons. In 2019, the United States Mint produced a limited number of pennies that were supposed to have a mint mark, signifying where they were produced, either at the Philadelphia Mint, Denver Mint, or San Francisco Mint. However, some 2019 pennies were accidentally struck without a mint mark. This may seem like a minor detail, but to collectors, it's a big deal. A coin without a mint mark is a sign that something went wrong, making it a unique and potentially valuable item for coin enthusiasts. So, why does the missing mint mark matter? Well, coins with mint marks are usually easier to trace and verify. The fact that this coin lacks one means it was likely produced in Philadelphia, but the lack of a mint mark makes it much more interesting to collectors. Historically, errors like this have led to some pennies becoming very rare and valuable over time. The 2019 no mint mark penny has become highly sought after for its rarity. When a coin is released without something as basic as a mint mark, it becomes a type of error coin, which is always in demand. Now, let's talk about what it's worth. As of today, the value of the 2019 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is in the range of a few dollars to a few $100s for ungraded versions depending on condition. But here's the exciting part. If your penny is in excellent condition, and especially if it's been graded by a professional coin grading service, it could fetch much more. Coins that have been professionally graded, especially those that are considered error coins, can increase in value significantly. We're talking about values that could soar to thousands of dollars if you have one of these pennies in pristine condition, like a mint state 65 or higher. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for these rare mistakes. Now, let's break down some of the factors that could impact how much your 2019 no-mint mark penny is worth. The better the condition of the coin, the higher the value. Coins that are uncirculated or in mint state will be more valuable than those that show signs of wear. Always handle your coin carefully to preserve its quality. If you have your coin professionally graded, this can significantly increase its worth. The grading system ranges from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. Coins in higher grades can bring in a much higher price. Like any collectible, demand plays a huge role in determining the value. If a collector really wants a specific error coin like this one, the price can shoot up. The rarer the coin, the higher the potential demand, and therefore the higher the value. Historical significance. While the 2019 no-mint mark penny is a recent coin, error coins always attract collectors because they are part of a long tradition of coin collecting. Rare coins often have stories behind them that add to their charm. So, here's the burning question. Can this 2019 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny be worth $1 million? The answer is, maybe. While it's not common for a penny to reach that level of value, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. If you happen to find a 2019 no-mint mark penny in flawless, perfect condition and it's one of a kind, there's a chance that it could appreciate in value over time, especially if interest in error coins continues to grow. In fact, the most valuable pennies, like the famous 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die, have sold for millions of dollars at auctions. It's important to remember that the value of any coin is determined by a combination of rarity, demand, and condition. If you've got one of these rare 2019 pennies in exceptional condition, and there's a growing interest from collectors, who knows what kind of price it could command? Now that you know the potential worth, how can you find one of these rare pennies? Check your pocket change, or better yet, scour through any coin rolls you have laying around. But remember, the 2019 no-mint mark penny is not common, so don't expect to find one every day. Once you think you've found one, it's important to have it verified. Professional coin graders can help you determine the condition of the coin and give you a proper valuation. They'll also confirm whether it's actually a 2019 no-mint mark penny or just an ordinary one. So, to recap, the 2019 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a rare and valuable error coin that collectors are on the lookout for. While it may not be worth millions right now, it has the potential to appreciate in value if it's in excellent condition and becomes more sought after over time. If you think you've found one of these special pennies, make sure to get it professionally graded, and you could be sitting on a small treasure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more coin-related content. And as always, if you've got a 2019 no-mint mark penny, or any other rare coin, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear about your findings. 2020 D Lincoln penny, its features, how it was minted, and the truth about its current market value. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's explore the ins and outs of this fascinating penny. Before we go into the 2020 D mint mark penny specifically, let's take a brief look at the history of the Lincoln penny itself. Introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent has become one of the most iconic coins in American history. Over the years, its design has changed only slightly, but it has remained a symbol of American heritage. The design on the reverse, the famous Lincoln Memorial, was introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. But what makes the 2020D different? Well, it's not the design but rather the circumstances of its release that have caught the eye of collectors. The 2020D Mint Mark penny features the same iconic obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. However, the reverse is the shield design, which has been in place since 2010. What sets the 2020D apart from earlier pennies, though, is the minting process. The 2020 coin year is notable for several reasons, not least of which is the production of pennies during a time when the U.S. Mint faced unusual circumstances. The COVID-19 pandemic forced the Mint to alter its production processes, leading to different amounts of mintages in certain coin series, including the penny. But for the 2020D specifically, it's the rare condition of these pennies that are driving interest in the collector's market. Now, let's get to the most important part for many of you: the market value of the 2020D penny. The current value of a typical 2020D Lincoln penny, if found in average circulation condition, is just 1 cent, its face value. However, things change when the coin is in better condition, such as in uncirculated or proof condition. Uncirculated examples can range from 25 cents to $1, depending on their specific quality, while a coin in a high-grade condition, graded MS65 or higher by a major coin grading service, can fetch anywhere from $2 to $10. The reason for the increased value in these higher grades is due to scarcity. The 2020D penny was minted in high quantities, but it's the coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition that are drawing more attention. Higher grades, especially those graded by a professional service, will command higher prices in the marketplace. So, can a 2020D penny ever be worth $1 million? While this coin may not have the same immediate potential for high dollar values like rare coins such as the 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1943 copper penny, the fact is that the market can be unpredictable. There are certain factors that can cause a coin like the 2020D to increase in value significantly over time. If large quantities of the 2020D penny were to be lost or damaged, the remaining coins in good condition could become rarer, thus raising the demand. Coins from specific years and mints that are rare, especially in high grades, have the potential to skyrocket in value. Some 2020D pennies may have been struck with errors, like double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks, that could make them especially valuable to collectors. If you find a penny with a noticeable error, get it appraised. Error coins often see a massive increase in value over time. Long-term investment. Even if the 2020D penny isn't worth $1 million right now, numismatists often view coins as long-term investments. The 2020D could increase in value over several decades if it remains in good condition and the demand for coins from this period rises. As mentioned earlier, error coins can be extremely valuable. Keep an eye out for things like double strikes, off-center coins, or die cracks. The condition of your penny matters. Make sure to have your 2020D penny graded by a reputable service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, to get an accurate assessment of its value. Store your valuable pennies in a safe place, such as a coin holder or a professional coin slab. Exposure to air and humidity can cause coins to degrade, losing their value. Always stay updated on market trends. The numismatic market can change, and prices can shift. What might not be worth much today could gain value tomorrow. To wrap up, the 2020D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny may not be an immediate $1 million coin, but with the right conditions, rare errors, and high-grade specimens, it could see a significant increase in value in the future. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, this coin is one worth keeping an eye on. Remember, collecting coins is about more than just finding rare pennies. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the joy of learning, and the community of passionate collectors like yourself. Keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows? That humble 2020D penny might just be the one that changes your collection forever.